Hello everybody and welcome back today to my F1 2019 Road to Glory. It is time for part 12, the German Grand Prix. I'm super looking forward to this one and I think it's going to be another good Grand Prix. I mean, we've had 3 solid races now on the bounce. 2 race wins in France and Austria, and then we picked up P2 last time out at my home race, the British Grand Prix. I'm looking forward to Germany. The Hockenheimring is a circuit that, more often than not, goes pretty well for me in career mode. I love this track. I think it's an absolute icon. I think we need it back. Well, we definitely need it back in the Formula One games, bare minimum, I think. Um, but yeah, I mean, this is such a cool track. So I'm gonna mute, guys. We're gonna do a lap around the Hockenheimring, and I'll catch up with you all when it's finished. See you in a bit. And the lap will be finished before it's even begun because we spin and hit the wall at the first corner. We are out of qualifying. Oh my word. We go through the first corner there, we spin, we hit the wall. And for Alfa Romeo, we are out of qualifying. We will line up P20 on the grid then. And we will not set a time. Kimi Raikkonen, though, will come home in P7. And just as I was saying, this could have been a great race for us. It's already going to start out in the worst way possible. We have crashed in qualifying. Unbelievable there. I mean, it's an easy enough mistake to do there. We just took way too much of the inside curb, lit up the rear tyres, and the car spun round. But quite a weird one. Usually, if people spin through that first corner, they usually hit the wall at the rear of the well, the outside wall, should I say. We spun and hit the front wall. So, I think for this one, we're just going to take a whole new engine. We're going to take all new grid penalties. I know we already had enough, but, you know, we might as well just take some more grid penalties. We're going to start last anyway. We're at the max number of gearbox available, though. So, that's going to be interesting. But it is time then for the German Grand Prix, and I cannot believe it. We have hit the barriers in qualifying. Well, we just got to hope we have good pace. We've got to try and stay out of trouble, have good pace, but yeah, just as our engineer said, hopefully we can improve the situation throughout the race here. But it's going to be time for the German Grand Prix. When the 5 red lights go out, we'll be racing. And we are underway here at Germany there. Immediately we make quite a good start there on George Russell. Get ahead of him there before the first corner. And then we get ahead of Robert Kubica on the outside of turn 1 now. We're going to try and go up the inside of Antonio Giovinazzi and Romain Grosjean here. Can we pull off 4 overtakes in one corner here? I think it's asking way too much. No, we can't though. We have to cut a little bit. Take a lot of the grass there. But Antonio Giovinazzi on our outside there was leaving us no room to work with. The number 99 Alfa Romeo, sorry, that's the car we're driving. The number 99 Racing Point car left us no space to work with whatsoever here. But we are back round, well, should I say up the inside of Pierre Gasly. So we're already into P15 then. We have made a very good start, in fact. Unlike Spain, obviously, we got disqualified from qualifying on that day and then ended up coming home in P11 after, well, after contact twice with Sergio Perez and then once with Nico Hulkenberg, obviously. Broke our front wing on Perez, got pushed into the gravel by Perez, and then we spun on the final lap after contact with Hulkenberg here. But I'm hoping to kind of put that race behind us and get into the much better swing of things now at the Hockenheimring. This is a circuit I much prefer around Spain. The car actually feels really good, bearing in mind this is our first proper lap around the circuit. Well, it is our first lap around the circuit in this car. The car feels great here, but we're going to be very cautious now going through turn 1 because I don't want to repeat what we did in qualifying there. It's silly mistakes like that that we cannot afford to be doing here. And we are around the outside then of Carlos Sainz, who then hits us, and we are backwards. And oh my word, just like in Spain here, it's going to be an even worse start because we're going to be right down the order then. Contact with Carlos Sainz and we're sent spinning off the circuit here. We're 10 seconds behind the Williams cars. We almost drop it again coming back onto the circuit. But a disaster of a start to this weekend for us now from our car. I don't think there's no way we're going to be scoring any points now. We got tapped round on the outside of Carlos Sainz. I mean, we left him all the space we could, but he just caught our rear wheel and we were put backwards there. We've got to try and put that behind us though and carry on. But it's been an absolute disaster so far this weekend around the Hockenheim Ring. A circuit that I was really looking forward to coming to here. But anyway, we're going to push on here. I think Raikkonen is still P... It looks like he's moved up to P6 by the looks of things there. But 11.7 seconds is the gap between us and the rest of the field here. We've just got to keep trying to push on here. I think we're going to have to pit early. I don't know how much where we have to the rear tyres, but yeah, as you can see there, quite a considerable amount. But just so unlucky there to be tagged by Carlos Sainz. Definitely a racing incident, I think there was no, you know, malicious intent from either driver. It was just unlucky, wrong place, wrong time for us. But we now, though, have a big job on our hands if we want to make anything of this Grand Prix. I don't even think we're going to come home to score a point here. We say that, though. We put in the fastest first sector of anyone, and we're taking chunks of time out of George Russell in the Williams car here. Already gained 2 seconds on him in just under a lap here. So, you know, how I think about it is we have got nothing to lose in this race. We can take any gamble we want. We can push as hard as we want to here. We have got nothing to lose. So we might as well give it everything we've got here. If we can come away with just the fastest lap, that will be another confidence booster here. I think we had some more upgrades on the car this weekend. So hopefully here we can get away there. But yeah, again, like another second we've taken out of George Russell there. And I can see him. So if we take 2 seconds out of him a lap and everybody else, this will be a perfect. Yeah, you know, it wouldn't be too bad at all. It would be perfect if we hold on to this pace. But we are definitely going to have to come into the pit lane early, I think, here. I think we're going to have to pit for lap 5 here. But we set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, though. So that is pretty good here. Oh, we run a little bit wide through the first corner there, but 7.7 seconds then is the gap to George Russell in the Williams. I think once we catch up to everybody, you know, I think we'll be okay. But yeah, for now, it's just about keeping the car on the island. Keeping it pointing in the straight line, I think, will be a more important goal here. But yeah, I mean, wow. What a start then to this Grand Prix. One that I definitely did not expect here. As I say, a circuit I felt so confident at. We got so, well, you know, a total mistake on my end in qualifying to just spin and hit the wall. But then contact them with Carlos Sainz pitching our car off the road. I think we were lucky to get away with no damage because, I mean, well, I'm trying to remember, but I think we almost went into the barriers there as well. So very, very lucky then to not get any damage here. But 6.6 seconds is the gap now between us and George Russell as we take a lot of the inside curb there. But I think, oh, a big lockup though as well on the front here. It's really not going our way. I think I'm going to pit this lap. I think I'm going to pull the car into the pit lane this lap here. You never know. We might be able to get a small cheeky undercut here on George Russell. And, well, hopefully we can catch right up if we're on the medium tyres there. We can get a good pit stop and get away. But just a really unlucky start then to the weekend. Hopefully we can turn it around. You never know here. Maybe if we just come away, you know. I think the goal will just don't finish last, I think is going to be the goal for this one. I was going to say points, but I think unless we get something like a safety car, I think they're going to be a long way out of reach. But I've seen crazier things, so you never know. We could have a bit of a Jenson Button 2011 Canada drive on our hands here. But I highly doubt that with only 12 laps to go in this one. I think, as I say, just focus on not bringing the car home last. But Bottas then will overtake our fastest lap. Only by about half a tenth though, to be fair, or 3/4 of a tenth. So, yeah, the Mercedes cars do have pace, but we're still up there though. Remember, at the end of the day, we shouldn't be fighting the Mercedes, the Ferraris and the Red Bull cars. We should be ahead of the rest of the pack, really, but we should not be anywhere near the Mercedes, Ferrari and Red Bull cars, but that is just the strength of this car, the upgrades on this car. It is a solid package here. But I think definitely one of the best cars on the grid is that Ferrari car. Although they're third and fourth in this race, I think they have got some real prowess here. And I think they just need a driver to be able to drive that car and show everybody what that car's pace really is. I think if they had a different driver to one of the two they had in now, I think they could have some big races on the board. But anyway, we are going to go through and we are going to complete one race at a time here. I mean, obviously, the goal will be to drive for Ferrari. That would be an absolute road to glory here, but as people are going to start pitting, though, we aren't going to be anywhere close to that just yet. We've got to start worrying about when the cars towards the rear of the field are going to be pitting. And I mean, the longer they stay out, obviously, the more of an advantage we'll gain. But it looks like Williams are going to be pulling in Robert Kubica. So now I think is the chance where we really have to get on with it to see if we can come out anywhere close to Robert Kubica. As I say, don't finish last, I think, is the goal for this weekend. But as we bring the car round the final corners then, and we're going to start lap 7 of 17 there. Kubica in front of us there, look, we can just see him down the road here. So we are close, we're definitely closing in. But I think once we start getting up to the back of some cars, you know, getting a DRS, I think this race will start coming to us slowly but surely. 2.7 seconds is the current gap though to the Williams of Robert Kubica. But we've just got to focus on getting our head down here and just drive as hard and as fast as we can. As I say, where I've been in the last few episodes, I've been like, okay, we've got to be conservative. This episode has been a disaster so far, and as it stands, we are last. So we can take every risk we want, I think, in this episode. I think that's fair enough to say here. Oh, they actually get right out on the curb. That's what I was talking about, taking every risk here. We're not exactly gaining on Robert Kubica there. He's actually gained a 10th on us here, so we do need to kind of step on it a bit here. I think, as I say, once we start seeing other cars in front of us, it'll motivate us a bit more. There's wide through the final corner now. We've had to gain something on the Kubica and all of that. Surely there we have about 0.8 of a second there as Antonio Giovinazzi has come out right in front of us here. Can we maybe get in his slipstream down the main straight here? But this is what I mean, look, now you see there's a lot of cars spread out here. We've got to start getting overtakes done there, and we have the DRS on Antonio Giovinazzi. So if we can just keep getting in the DRS of these cars, if we can just keep staying with these cars, I think we're going to be okay. But yeah, as I say here, we just need to push this car as hard and as fast as possible. And we need to drive the wheels off this wagon there. As I'm looking at the minimap, and I believe Kimi Räikkönen has jumped one of the Red Bull cars. That's great news for Kimi Räikkönen then. But now we come around these few bends here. I love these corners. I can gain usually quite a fair bit of time through this section. And you can see it there. We pull right up onto the back of Antonio Giovinazzi. I almost said Sergio Perez, because we were racing him a lot this season before he moved away for Red Bull, especially towards the start of this season there. We are going to get a run on Antonio Giovinazzi here. We are going to get the overtake going into the first corner. We are no longer last. So we have made up around 10 seconds then already here. We're going to try and go back around the outside here of Robert Kubica. We're going to slide there, almost put our wheels on the curb there. But we are going to get past Robert Kubica, and we are through and into 18th place here. But Antonio Giovinazzi is going to be battling with us here. And I mean, you can just see what a sad old day it is for us here, battling for 18th place. And there's only 8 laps remaining here. But still, 8 laps we've got to do something with. And we have got 8 laps to, as I said, drive the wheels off this wagon. 8 laps of non-stop concentration, focus, and just flat out pace here. We need to push. Lewis Hamilton sets the fastest lap as he will start then lap 10 of the German Grand Prix. We currently sit though 19th place in this race. Not where I wanted to be at all here. As we're getting held up massively by Antonio Giovinazzi now. We can get on the power though, on the exit here. We can get past and we will overtake Antonio Giovinazzi. Get on the old rumble strips though, on the exit. We're going to have DRS for this next straight as well. But Antonio Giovinazzi. We will get through here. 1.7 seconds then is the gap to Pierre Gasly, and then there's a big gaggle of cars in front of us here. So you never know with this race. We could have, you know, we could end up walking away from here with a decent-ish result. I think our goal is to finish 10th. I don't see that happening in this race. But yeah, again, as I said earlier, I've seen crazy things happen. So you never know here. George Russell, though, I think in the Williams car, has not pitted yet. So that will surely put us up to P17 when Russell decides to bring the Williams car in. So that's an extra place. So, you know, I don't know how many cars are in front of us here, but it looks more than 7. So maybe, yeah, maybe we are in the chance then for some points. If we get on with it, though, that is the thing here. Fresh engine, obviously, in the back of this Alfa Romeo, so let's make some good use of it here as we now round the final corner, and we will start lap 11 then of the German Grand Prix here. Yeah, Gasly right in front of us here. We'll go line him up there. We get out on the rumble strips a little bit there for the second lap in a row. Maybe now we're catching up to some cars. We do need to calm down a little bit, you know. There could be a result on the cards for us here. But we've just got to drive and try and aim for it here. Pierre Gasly, though. We're going to be all over the back of him as we go into... I can't remember what corner number this is here, but we're going to get around the outside of Gasly here. Are we going to get the move done? Yes, we are. That is P16 then on the road. So let's see here. Yeah, definitely there's points up there, isn't there? They are points paying positions up here. 15th, 14th, 13th, 12th, 11th, 10th. Yeah, I think that Renault, the Renault right that's leading this pack, is the points position. So that is where we need to be, ideally. As here, Romain Grosjean, though, is the next car on our checklist. I love this circuit. It's a proper old-school, flat-out racetrack. And I just love old circuits like this. We need to bring this track back. I'm sorry, this track needs to be in the Formula 1 games. You know, Formula 1, if you happen to be watching this video, or EA, bring this track back. I wish they were watching this video. But we're going to go around the outside of Romain Grosjean here. He's going to make contact with us, though, like Carlos Sainz did a few laps ago. The AI through that section really don't want to give up on their place there. They really try and run you out of road here. But look at all these cars in front of us here. I think these are points positions now. Sainz is going to go for a move. Look, the two Renault cars are going to be falling off here. They're falling off the pace quite a lot. We are going to pull to the inside of the two Renault cars. Are we going to try and make it through wide then with Nico Hülkenberg and Daniel Ricciardo? Yes, we are here. Can we get both cars? Yes, we can there, but we're going to lock up. We're just going to hold on to it there. And we are into P13 then in this Grand Prix. So let's see what we can do then. 4 laps to go after this one. Let's see what else we can claw back in this race. I mean, it's a shame really that we didn't get a good qualifying position because, well, if we did qualify, then hopefully we would have been a lot farther up from where we started in P20, and you know, we would have stayed out of that trouble at the start. We could have been on today for another big result here. Yeah, I mean, we're 17 seconds behind 6th place then in this Grand Prix. That's our teammate Kimi Räikkönen here. But Daniel Kvyat obviously got a podium here in real life this very race weekend. Germany 2019, Toro Rosso, such an underdog podium for Daniel Kvyat though. But we are going to come through here. We are going to overtake Daniel Kvyat here. Are we going to get through? Yes, we are. There was a very tight squeeze, but we are through and up into P12 here. So they are points positions in front of us. Well, that racing point is, that will be Lance Stroll then. So Carlos Sainz in front of us, then Lance Stroll. They are your points paying positions. And they are the cars we have got to beat to the line here. So whereas at the top 10 finish, we probably weren't on for one. We definitely now are, aren't we? As yeah, George Russell has pitted then. I'm sorry, I totally didn't pick that up until now. But it seems to be a quiet race so far. No DNFs at the moment, which is interesting. I mean, every single race so far this career mode, I believe we've had a DNF. So here, but Sainz, he is going to make a move on Lance Stroll there, but Stroll cutting him off. That's exactly what Sainz did to me on the opening lap here. And we're going to get a beautiful toe now, beautifully on the engine here. It's another double overtake. We are up and into P10. That was great stuff here, but we are going to lock up the front wheels there. We struggled to get the car slowed down into that corner. But we are into P10 here. I'm going to move the brake bias a long way back because we keep locking up the front wheels on this Alfa Romeo car. That's going to make us struggle for grip here. Oh, they're right out wide there, aren't we? 2.5 seconds then is the gap to Kevin Magnussen. Can we catch him before the end of this Hockenheim Circuit Grand Prix here? We will just have to find out. As I say, the car feels good. There we go. Big slide down. As soon as I say the car feels good, we make a mistake here. I think the tyres may be starting to go off a little bit. Maybe they're not sticking to the road like we would like. But we are chasing Kevin Magnussen, and this is the 9th place here. As yet again though, look, the back end of the car just wanting to step out every available opportunity here. 1.7 seconds though to Kevin Magnussen. Maybe I do have to move the brake bias back to where it was then. A very odd race so far though for us. An odd weekend all round here. We definitely had more pace this weekend. I think even if we hadn't have had that spin here, we could have been on for a really good result, because I mean, if we had that spin and we're currently sitting P10, if we hadn't have had that, then who knows where we could have ended up here in this race. Maybe up a lot further into the points positions here, but it looks like I think P9 will be our best shot on this Grand Prix. We are catching though Kevin Magnussen here. Hopefully we can get P9. If not, I will take a P10 finish as well here. I think from last to points will be pretty good. From last to being spun to points, I think is pretty damn good as well. So we have 8 tenths to Kevin Magnussen. And here we go then now. I think this will be our golden opportunity here. Hit the brakes, turn the car in to the corner. And here we go then. Use all our might here. Use all our engine power. Use all our higher revs and our fuel and our battery and everything here. We're going to try and get past Kevin Magnussen there. He's just going to outbrake us. I tried to brake a lot earlier because I always locked my wheels going into that sharp left, right-hander, sorry. Here we go then now. Can we get a move done on the outside of Kevin Magnussen here? He's defending this 9th place here. He does not want to give up these extra points, and I mean, who can blame him here? I wouldn't want to give up these points either. But that is exactly what we're trying to do here. We're trying to make him give up the points almost here. We've got a Mercedes! We've got a Mercedes going slowly. Valtteri Bottas! Valtteri Bottas is out of the race. Valtteri Bottas, who I believe was leading this Grand Prix on the final lap of this race, will pull over. And just as I was saying a few moments ago that we didn't have any retirements so far this race, Valtteri Bottas, the race leader, is out. Unreal stuff here. That'll elevate Kimi Räikkönen an extra spot here. But we now, all of a sudden, are in the battle for P8 then. 2 extra points there, obviously, from P8 to P9. It's 2 points for P9, 4 for P8. And we are going to get Kevin Magnussen here. On the final lap of this race, though, we are going to hopefully finish P8. Unless anything else happens in this race here. And I think the other Mercedes car has been overtaken by one of the Ferraris. What is happening on the final lap of this German Grand Prix? Oh my word. This race has really not let us down here. The Hockenheim never does though as we skate wide. It's Charles Leclerc though who wins for Ferrari. Lewis Hamilton will take P2. Sebastian Vettel P3 on his home race and then one of the Red Bulls, Kimi Raikkonen, P5 though for the Alfa Romeo team. It's going to be one of the other Red Bulls P6. Lando Norris is in 7th. We come home for P8. That was a fantastic recovery drive from us there. Wow. What a Grand Prix. Unbelievable stuff. Unbelievable here. We finish P8 after being spun out here. You think we lost 10 seconds in that race? We lost 10 seconds. So if we'd lost 10 seconds, you know, if we lost 10 seconds, you take that away, we would have been ahead of Norris, definitely would have been ahead of Norris, but I think there's a chance that we could have got past Perez as well. I think there definitely is a chance here. But what an unbelievable race. Valtteri Bottas then. He is... Oh, wow. I mean, you must be gutted there, surely. But Kimi Raikkonen moves up a position ahead of Carlos Sainz in the McLaren there. We will be still third in the Constructors' Championship. But that was an excellent race. We need more races like that there. I mean, obviously, the spin wasn't ideal. The crash in qualifying was definitely not ideal and 100% my fault. But if we have races where we're really good on pace like that, I will take them. Because that was an epic recovery drive here. Wow. We need to finish 4th or better in Hungary to get our team goal. Obviously, they're set to hard here. Hopefully, in our next contract, we can get a better deal than what we've got now here. Really, really strict on the contract. But we are going to fast forward then. Ahead to the Hungarian Grand Prix. We're going to simulate practice here. You guys know the drill. We always do that here. We start the episode with qualifying, do the race, and then after the race, we go to the next weekend, simulate the practice, and then see if we can put any upgrades on, or if we have any more upgrades through. But, I mean, wow. What a Grand Prix, though. I'm still not over Valtteri Bottas retiring on the final lap. I'm sure he was leading. If not, he was on the podium, I know that for sure. But the last time I checked, he was leading here. As our weather forecast is through here. We still haven't had any upgrades put through there, but as you can see, they're all going to be coming through for the Belgian Grand Prix, which will be next time out. We are going to simulate the practice sessions, though, to get ourselves our resource points. But guys, what a Grand Prix there. That was the German Grand Prix. It's the Hungarian Grand Prix next time out, guys. But wow, what a race. What a race. What a storm in recovery. Our goal was to not finish last. We ended up bringing home 4 more points. That was great fun. That was a good race. I enjoyed that one a lot. But guys, thank you very much for watching. If you have enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And guys, I will see you all in the next one. Take care, guys. Thanks for watching. Cheers.